The NBA is back for another season, and I can't wait. You can't wait. Welcome back, or welcome to America's Sports. I am Ty, and I'm addicted to basketball. This video is a guide, a breakdown, and really just a discussion about the upcoming NBA season. Anything from the best NBA League Pass teams, which we're going to talk about in a second, to real contenders, Rookie of the Year, MVP, all of it. So let's get into it. The best teams to watch on League Pass. Now for the League Pass teams, this list does not go in any order. The only rule about this is you can't be nationally televised in 20 plus games this year. First team that I want to mention here accomplished a lot last season. First off, during the regular season, they were the highest scoring team in the league. They made the championship game in the first NBA Cup ever, and they made the Eastern Conference Finals. During the playoffs, this was the only team to me that I thought had a reasonable chance to beat Boston in the East. They have one of the premier shot blockers in the game. They have Pascal Siakam, who is an NBA All-Star caliber guy every single season. And then Tyrese Halliburton, who has Magic Johnson-like passes. For my money, he's the best passer in the game with a bunch of guard play. Benedict Mathurin is back for the team, a guy that can get you 18 to 25 points. Last year, the Pacers had 9 guys get 10 points or more per game, and they almost had 10. Jalen Smith was at 9.9. And if the Pacers and Halliburton are going to start off like they started out last year, it's going to be a hot start. All of this is going well for them, and they're still nationally televised in 9 games. The Clippers, who are always injured and Paul George left the team, they're basically James Harden or bust, have the same amount of games as the Pacers, and to me that's criminal. This is one of the things I don't like about the NBA is how much they cater to these big markets compared against the small markets. But it shouldn't matter if you're big market, small market. If the team is good and they're exciting and they score a lot of points, they should be on TV. The Oklahoma City Thunder, absolutely. They were the number 1 seed in the very powerful Western Conference last season. They have a guy who will no doubt be part of the MVP conversation again. He was the runner-up. Their stars play pretty much every game, and you know they're going to win a lot of games again. This OKC team picked up some guys. They traded Josh Giddey away, but they were able to get important pieces like Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. Now, unfortunately, Hartenstein, we won't get to see him play in the regular season for the Thunder for another month or so as he has an injury. But for the most part, their starters, they play. And a guy who I think is going to have an incredible season this year, Jalen Williams, he's going to have even better numbers than he had last year. I would almost guarantee you it. They were the highest scoring team in the West last year. And when you look at the sports books for a lot of the odds, they are the favorites to win the West this year. Now, they have 15 nationally televised games, and that's pretty good. It's a lot more than OKC has had since Russell Westbrook. I can tell you that, but they should be in the 20 range, at least. I would like to see OKC get put on the Christmas list next year, especially if someone wins MVP like SGA. The Minnesota Timberwolves, who last year made it to the Western Conference Finals where they got beat by Dallas. They traded Karl Anthony Towns away to New York where they got Julius Randle. They just barely made this list as they are nationally televised in 18 games this year. Frankly, for my money, you could put Denver, Minnesota, or OKC on every other night, and I would be totally fine with that on national television. I mean, you just can't get enough of a guy like Anthony Edwards, and it's going to be very exciting to see how Julius Randle fits in with them. I think it does cause for a little bit of concern because Cat can space the floor a lot better than Randle can, even though credit to Randle for improving his three-point shot over the years. He's still not the shooter that Towns will ever be, I don't think. At the same time, Randle does some other things better, like I think he's a better playmaker for one. But the key here in this trade for me was Dante DiVincenzo. I love this for Minnesota. I think they needed a little bit more three-point shooting, especially if you're going to lose Towns, who probably was the best three-point shooter on the team. Conley getting older as well. It could be his last season. So if it is his last season, this is someone that you're going to want to watch on a nightly basis. Yeah, this team's going to be really good again. Will they make it to the Western Conference Finals again? I don't know, but they're definitely going to be really good. That defense travels. The Memphis Grizzlies and the return of Ja Morant is going to be something very fun to watch. The guy's a superstar, and they've also got a guy that I think will be up for Rookie of the Year in Zach Edey. They were tough to watch last year, but they're going to be a lot of fun this year. When we talk about the young guys, the face of the league conversation came up a lot last season, and everyone just went right to Ant as if SGA wasn't in the league and as if Ja Morant wasn't going to be back the next season. I think Ja Morant is going to remind people very much of who he is this year, and it's only going to take a few games. On the national circuit, they are only on for 9 games, so you're going to have to watch them on League Pass, and you better believe I'm going to be doing so. Desmond Bane is a lot of fun to watch. He's one of the best pure shooters in the league. Jaren Jackson's one of the best shot blockers in the league, and I can't wait to see Ja Morant lob it up to Zach Edey on a nightly basis. They're gonna be really good. I think they're definitely a playoff team this year. And last but not least, because these are not ranked, the New Orleans Pelicans. There is an injury risk with Zion Williamson, but even when he doesn't play, this team has enough star power to be a lot of fun to watch on TV. And now they brought DeJounte Murray in. This is a stacked starting 5. With all the star power and all the high-flying entertainment that they've got, it's impossible not to put the Pelicans on this list. This is also, to me, a sleeper team, because when people are talking about the favorites, nobody's talking about New Orleans. But I'm telling you guys, with DeJounte Murray, this team is going to be really, really good. Their one thing is they are going to miss Valanciunas, to me. Not to mention Larry Nance Jr., who played a big role for them in the playoffs. They no longer have him. Steven Adams, they tried Steven Adams, and that project did not work either. So they drafted a big man, and they have Daniel Tice. But other than that, right now, it's hard to figure out who's going to play center for them. Is it going to be Missy? Are they actually going to put Herb Jones at the 5 and go super small? I don't know. That sounds crazy to put Herb Jones on a guy like Joel Embiid or fucking Jokic. Anthony Davis. The list goes on. You get it. But this team's a barrel of fun regardless. For MVP, of course, you always have to look at guys like Jokic, because Jokic has won it in 3 of the last 4 seasons. Luka Doncic opens up as the favorite at a plus 375. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander plus 400. Jokic 460. Giannis 850. Yeah, I think this is going to be SGA. I thought it should have been Shea last season, but I guess I was wrong there. And I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be the MVP this year. He's going to play in a lot of games like he usually does. They're going to be near the top of the West in the standings, and they might even be the 1 seed again, although it's really hard to get the 1 seed 2 years in a row. And if he shoots as well from the field as he did last year, it'd be really hard for him not to get the MVP, especially when you consider what he does on the defensive side of the ball too. And if you wanted a dark horse, I think Ja Morant at plus 2,500 is beautiful, because Ja is going to come back with a fierce amount of force and momentum in this league. I'm telling you guys. Rookie of the Year, I'm looking at 3 guys, and I think Zach Edey is the favorite for a reason. How this guy didn't go number 1 to me is absurd. The guy is fucking dominant. I don't care if he can't hit the 3 guys. He's a guy that's a rim protector, which is a premium these days. He can move well, and he gets people in foul trouble. If he's got a good point guard that can lob him the ball, which he does, he's going to be very successful in this rookie season. I also love Castle in San Antonio. This is a guy that's going to give him a run for the money. I have always loved that kid. I think he's amazing. I think Buzelis also has a chance. I think that's how you say it, Matas Buzelis. I've never been a huge Patrick Williams fan, and I think he should pass Patrick Williams eventually on that depth chart at power forward. We'll see how it goes. But he's a guy that isn't starting yet, so that could be a bit tough. I would say just to watch out for him. And I hate to be rude here for Defensive Player of the Year, but it is definitely going to be Victor Wembanyama. I really Really hope that they don't give it to Rudy Gobert again because, I mean, it's clear Wemby's already a better defender than him, man. Come on. And yeah, this is Defensive Player of the Year, and he could be for the next fucking decade. Or until they get tired of giving it to him. For the Most Improved Player of the Year, I think Jalen Johnson should get real work here. I think Jalen Johnson's going to score a bunch of points, and he's a great defender to go with it. Wemby obviously could win this one again. I also think Brandon Pajemski there in Golden State is going to have to improve if Golden State wants to have a chance. I mean, someone else is going to have to score on the team, and it's probably going to be him or Kuminga, you know. For Sixth Man of the Year, they've got McCollum up there on the standings, and I think if they don't start him at the beginning of the year, they're definitely going to at some point. But if this happens to where he's the sixth man the entire year, CJ McCollum would be my favorite for Sixth Man of the Year. And it's even wild that we're even considering him being a sixth man, in my opinion. And yeah, that's going to wrap up this season preview. Be sure to comment what you think some of these awards and these League Pass teams should be. And also let me know why so we can get into a serious conversation about it. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that YouTube shit so you can stay ahead of the game in the NBA, the NFL, and everything else going on in America's sports. But that's going to do it for this one, and you'll see me in the next one.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think.